Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair Reviews. Today we are going to be taking a look at both of the Legends of Lucha Libre accessory packs from Boss Fight Studios. Let me know in the comments below if you have gotten into this line or if you're still on the fence or if you've even heard of it. And of course, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more reviews and weekly toy news. But that's enough chair chatter, let's go ahead and get at her. Okay, so we're going to start with the Extrema pack. First up, you do have the dog collar match accessory. So you've got two dog collars attached to a chain. Let me get in focus here. As you can see, you've got the actual buckle mold on there and painted. You've got a real chain, which is really kind of nice and cool. These do not have any latches on them, so you do have to make sure that the figures either have a detachable head or a small enough head you can stretch them over. Next up, we do have a microphone. The microphone has a little red handle. You've got just black around the edges at the top, and then you do have this little switch here that's painted on and molded, which is really well done. And then the microphone, like actual piece as well. Of course, you've got nightstick. It's pretty plain, except for the handle. You do have some different textures there to kind of break it up and make it look a little more grippy. You do get a lucha head that you can swap out with some of the Boss Fight Studios figures. This one is just red and white, since you've got some of the designs on there for the star and everything. Star is also on the back with some stitches molded on, and you got the lines going across the top. Each side does say MR, or I guess Mr. I'm not quite sure. I'm not familiar with the characters that they're trying to depict here. And then you get this cool 2x4, and it's really well done. I do wish it had a little bit of like maybe a black wash over it or some dry brushing, because it's got some great textures there, but it looks so flat. Like, as you can see, I have to really get it in the light to show it off. This is by far one of my favorite pieces, is the cinder block. Tons of great texture. It looks like it's supposed to be a cinder block, like you'd find it out in a construction site. You've got that crack there in it, and then as you can see, it does go all the way around both sides, and then you've got the openings. Cool thing is it does come apart. So as you take it, you can just kind of do it partially to make it look like it's like cracked over someone's head. And you can also pull it all the way out, and then you've got those little pegs there, which also look like the actual metal like posts that they put in cinder blocks. And last up, we have this chair. So the folding chair, big thing in wrestling, always has been. This is probably one of the best folding chairs I've ever seen come with an action figure. Like, between just the general aesthetic of it, but then you've got actual hinge. Like, most of them, they finagle it and make it work, but this looks like a folding chair, like, and it acts like a folding chair. Like, overall, it's really impressive. As far as the De La Muerte pack, you've got this sickle, which this must just be a lucha thing, because this is straight up a murder weapon, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen anyone use it for wrestling, but you've got the wooden handle, you've got the blades at the knuckles and at the top, and then you've got a kendo stick, which is another really popular weapon in wrestling, which this has some really great detail with just the textures and the sculpt going both in the handle and through the kendo stick in itself. Even with the like rubber banding and stuff at the top, they just did a really fantastic job. And you do get a light tube, which this takes you back to good old ECW days. It'd be really cool if it would have like cracked in half or something, but I can understand with how thin it was. I can't do that. Of course, you get another one of the lucha heads that you can swap out on some of their figures. This one has red and green instead of just the red and white. And then flip it around. Again, you've got that star. You've got that molded on stitching, which looks really cool. The stripes at the top are white. Then you get this barbed wire, which this one's hands down my favorite in this pack. It is kind of rubbery, which is really nice. So it's like real soft, and you can kind of move it around however you want. And then it has this hook on one side and a little loop on the other. And you get 4 little sections of it that you can go through. And let me get this. There we go. You can kind of hook through like that. And you can kind of do whatever you want. So if you want to tie someone up in it, or even if you want to wrap the weapons in it. So like here, I'll show you this one because it's a little thinner. So we'll have to add an extra little length here. There we go. It's not going to go all the way around. So I'm going to just loop it down through the leg here, like so. It's a little tricky if you don't have a lot of slack. There we go. And now you've got a barbed wire wrapped chair. So it's a really cool accessory, definitely a lot you can do with it. You do have a barbed wire wrapped bat. One thing I didn't realize about this until I actually played with it is it comes in the box and it's all scrunched up. I didn't think anything of it, I assumed it was molded on. However, the barbed wire is actually a separate piece, so you can kind of separate it a little bit, you can twist it around, you can even take it off if you want. So if you just want a normal bat, you've got it. I will say the bat does not have a whole lot of texture to it, so it's not like the 2x4 where it's got a lot of sculpt to it, but it still works. And then you can just slide it right back on like so. And it looks really cool, and they did a great job with the barbed wire, with the shine and everything of the paint, and just the different sculpt they did to make sure it kind of stands out. And then last up, we do have the breakable table. This is a really cool accessory, especially considering most of the tables we get from at least like the Elite line of WWE and even like AEW doesn't seem like they're going to be doing anything too crazy. Only thing is it's a little too sturdy. So as you can see, it does not come undone. So one thing I have to do is you'll see you have the little pegs in there to keep it like all attached. You can loosen those up, but you have to be careful because you also lose the like structure. So even then, it gets a little less sound. But then, biggest thing is you want to use that third piece to hold it together more than anything, and then boom, now it's going to come apart. So for the most part, it's going to be more for figure photography more than anything, but it's still really cool the way they put it together. Okay, so I did want to show you how this stuff scales. Unfortunately, I don't have any AEW figures for the AEW fans. I just have the Ultimate Hulk Hogan, we've got Elite Adam Cole, and then I've even got some non-wrestling with Mezco, Batman, and Marvel Legends J. Jonah Jameson. I will say, as far as the wrestling figures go of these two, they look great, but their hands are the opening's way too big, so you kind of have to wedge it in. You can kind of see it there. I had to actually wedge the top of the handle into Adam Cole's hand, and then realistically this is just resting in Hulk's hands. So if I like pull it out, see how easily that came undone. And then even like the microphone, it just falls right in. So like it's not bad, it looks good. It's just one of those things where it's not stable, so you have to make sure that you pose it just right. And I can confirm, because I have seen and held the AEW figures, they will have issues as well. However, the Marvel Legends, the Mezco, like it scales pretty perfectly compared to the Elites. I will say the Elites, usually scale a little bigger, so it makes sense. Alright, and of course we have to take a look at the box art. So nothing too crazy here. You've got the names of each set, you've got the Legends of Lucha Libre logos at the bottom, you've got this gray around it, and then the reddish gold in the inside, almost like molten lava. Turn it to the side, you've got more of the window and the logo, more of that kind of cool gray. On the back you do see all of the different accessories that are inside, there's lists at the top, and even individualized kind of showings of them at the bottom. And on the sides, you do have the other figures in the line you can get with, I think it's Ray Phoenix and Pentagon. And then at the bottom, you've got the UPC, and top, just more of the window. So nothing too crazy. Okay, so overall, absolutely love these accessory packs. I'm going to be honest, I had already bought 2 of each, and I plan to buy more just because between the barbed wire, the cinder blocks, the chair, like, there's so many things in this that can be used for more than just wrestling figures, and I have so many different pictures and poses and stuff planned, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But that is going to wrap it up for this week's video. Please make sure to let me know down in the comments below what your thoughts and feelings are about this figure, and as always, hit that like and subscribe button. It helps us out here on the channel. Make sure to check us out Fridays with me, Jamar, and or Nate. Always go over the weekly news, and if you like the figure photography that you see here at the end of the video, make sure to check us out on Instagram and Twitter at Modern Toy Fair. So hopefully we'll see you next week, same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.